Okay, hi. I got this question on Home Talk today about, let's see, I had trouble making an I-beam under a roof, no ceiling. So I could follow the roof pitch. And I thought I'd address that because it won't take but a minute. I got Pro open here. Go to a new plan. I'm not concerned with the template type. I never use the snap grid, so I'm going to turn that off over here. Just going to draw a roof plane. Keep this simple and short. I get this automatic message here, and I want to turn off automatic rebuild roofs. That's the default condition. So I can draw a manual roof. There we go. Left click, drag, and then release the mouse and go in the direction you want the roof to tilt, and then left click. That creates the roof plane. Just so you kind of correlate this together. There's the roof plane. Now, I'm going to go, I guess I'll go over here to default settings. This is what you should do anyway. Set up your defaults before you start working on a plan. I didn't do this, but this is probably a good instructive thing too. Let's go over to framing, edit, and I want to go to roof framing. Excuse me. And here's the Raptor type. I'm going to change the here's your choices. I'm going to use steel I-beams because you mentioned I-beams. And then you want to go over to materials and rafters. It's just defaults to wood. That's another reason why it's a good idea to set your defaults first. So let's go to library material and we'll find metal, stainless steel rough. Okay. So that's in the defaults, and nothing's been created, but this setting up your defaults determines what the program's going to do. And that's why it's important. It's also efficient to do it this way. Now I'm going to go up to Build menu, Framing, and the Raptor tool. Now, you can do this automatically, and that's fine, but I'm showing you how to do it manually. I'm going to left-click on the Raptor tool. And there's no walls in here, but in this case, it doesn't really involve walls. Get my cursor right on the baseline of the roof, and there's a roof. A rafter, excuse me. And it's just telling me that the layer is not turned, but I like to turn it on, yeah. I drew one, and there's the one that I drew manually, and the other ones were created automatically. Let's take a look at it and see what they look like. It looks like, I can't tell, let me change the camera type. Now that's an I-beam because I told it to be. These others didn't automatically come in. I probably missed a setting somewhere. And it's asking me if I want to turn off automatic roof framing. I'm going to say yeah. And we'll go over here to General. And the type is lumber. Now I set it to I-joist. I don't know what I did wrong, but no big deal. I'm sorry, steel I. And also change the thickness, but you can adjust that in the dialog also. It just, steel eyes come in at a default of 9.25. You know, that's either true for you or it's not true for you based on your situation. I'm going to change it to the same as a wood. See, that one I told it to be an I, and that's the one I drew manually at the baseline. Change it to 5.5. The whole point of paying the extra money for Pro is so you can do this sort of thing manually. In other programs, I'm pressing the Shift key and left-clicking on the others to group select them. Now they're selected as a group. We'll open that up, and I'll just change it one time. The depth will change to 5.5. I'm just being arbitrary about this. I'm not an engineer. You can set it to whatever depth is real for your plan that you're working on. Steel eye. Now they're all steel eyes. These others that I didn't change, that I'm going to shift select those. Oops, I think I missed one. So you select the first one, left click, and then press the Shift key, and then left click, left click, left click. Oops, for some reason I lost the, okay, it's still there. Thought I'd lost the selection set. It says steel eye. It doesn't look like I-beams to me. going to click OK. I'm going to check it again. Okay, steel eye. Excuse me, doesn't look right. Let me zoom in over here. That doesn't look like a steel eye beam. Because it didn't. Sometimes the shift select method works, as you saw, and sometimes it doesn't work, as you just now saw. Okay, now it's an I-beam. Now you can't alter this I-beam shape. It's just a default in, what do you want for $495? Be a way for me to look at it. You see what I'm doing. You ought to be able to set this up in the defaults and have it respond. But if it doesn't, and partially the reticence to do what I told it to do might be because I'm working in 3D. This sort of editing was added a couple of versions ago, and it's not as reliable as doing it in plan view. But I think for a video, this is a good way to show it, because this way you're not stuck with automatic conventions. And the whole point of Pro, from my point of view, I'm going to delete that one. You can see that you can add these, delete them, change their characteristics. Let's do a different camera view. I'll do just a floor camera, full view. Now, the prior camera I was using was a framing view camera, and I'm going to use this delete surface to get rid of some of those. Okay. And there's nothing there. That's because that framing, excuse me, wrong command. Go to display options, and I bet you framing is turned, roof framing is turned off. Framing, roof, yeah, it's turned off. That's why you couldn't see it. Yeah, there. So there's the steel I-beams. There's the roof decking and so forth. I mean, the reason they're selecting is because I'm in this delete surface tool mode. Let me turn that off. So there's the fascia, and any of these things you can select, like that piece there. That's a lumber. You can change it to steel if you want to. You can change the depth, and it's completely editable. But hopefully this will answer your question that you asked. There's a lot more to learn about Pro. That's an understatement if I ever made one. But it does kind of address your question, I hope. Okay, that's it. End of tutorial. Thank you.